Okay, I'm out here weeding and I see something move. Let me see if I can find him. I need to move him though because I need to weed in here. Alright, where'd you go, little guy? He's like kind of a yellow color. He looks like dead leaves a little bit. Oh no, I don't want to squish him. Alright, I think he went further back in here. Oh wait, is he over here? I really hope I don't squish him. Alright, I'll put the camera on behind my shoulder and hopefully we catch him on camera. Anyways, there's a little frog in here. Let me just see if he's in here. Are you in there, little guy? Oh, there he is. Here he is. Oh, come here. Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Ah! Come back! He's running away from me. Or he's hopping. Okay, I got him. This guy's fast. Alright, here he is. Hope he's in focus. Look at him. This little guy. He's probably so scared. Alright, I'm gonna go put him in a better spot unless he hops away. Which he's probably... Nope, he hopped away. Alright, well I'm gonna go weed there next, buddy. I'm sorry. Alright, the chickens are relaxing under these trees and brush. And Daniel's off work and he's going to cut some limbs on this tree. We are making room for a new chicken coop that eventually will house up to 300 birds. But we need to get their house ready because we have 50 birds coming in about a month. And you cannot put new birds with old birds, aka like baby birds with old birds. The old birds will kill them. These are flowers from last year, and I'm just cutting them back rather than pulling them out because I don't want to disturb the soil and the root structure that's in the ground helps break up the soil. So if I pull the plant out, it's gonna pull a big clump of dirt out with it, and that dirt's been getting broken down and turning into good soil. Oh, this is a little weed, so I'm going to pull that out. Look at how much that disturbed the soil, how much it pulled from just grabbing that weed. I don't want the weeds in here, so I'm taking them out. But I don't mind if those plants stay in here because those are good plants I want in this garden bed. So as little as I can disrupt the soil, that's the goal here. But I still want to be weeding the weeds, especially while they're little and easy to pluck from the ground. Oh, you know what? I think these might be some flowers I had last year. they close up at night and they open, and I had a pest that kept eating these and eating the flowers, so I'm curious to see if that's what they wind up being. I don't remember what they're called. I had some in the raised garden beds. You know, more than a snapdragon, these could be zinnias. I had them planted here and they reseed really easily. So I'm curious to see what comes back. I haven't thrown any fresh seed down in here. I was really pleased with what came up last year with my wild seed blend. Alright, so that looks good for now. I put this in like at the very last second because, or like just in time I mean to say, because there are all kinds of weeds and little wildflowers popping up around here. Alright, so these plants I said in my last video, I didn't know what they were called. They are Sedum Autumn Joy, that's what this one says, and that's an autumn fire. So they're called sedums. And I'm just gonna clip these back. I really should ask my friend what these flowers were called that I put on the sides. But they're doing okay. They went into shock a little bit. There's a little bit of yellowing on this side, but they're doing fine. Okay, I'm hopeful that my other little seeds I dropped in here will take off. There's a little bit of weeding I need to do right here. Set that down. When I first moved here, and people talk about weeding, I was like, well, how do you know what to weed? They say to get them when they're little, when the roots are shallow, or like the soil's really wet from rain. And I was like, yeah, I agree with that, but I have no idea what little plant is a weed and what's not. And that's rough when you're first starting off, but I will say, this is now, we're going into our 3rd year being on the property. And I'm not a native to Virginia, so the plants are different here. But I'm starting to see, okay, this is a weed. This is, like, I can tell when they're little, like, what kind of weed they're gonna be. So it just takes time and paying attention to the plants, and eventually you'll start to know what's a weed and what's not a weed. And then you can get on top of it. But when you're first starting off, give yourself some grace. You're first starting off, it's gonna be rough. Like there's a little, here I'll bring the camera in. There's a little one here. I don't know what it is. And because I don't know what it is, I'm not gonna pull it. Okay. So like right here, can you see this? This little green, yeah, this little green guy. I don't know. I don't know what this is, so I'm gonna leave it here and wait till it gets bigger. And it could be a flower, it could be a weed, and when it's bigger, I'll have to pull it if it's a weed. But like these guys, I know that these are little weeds I don't want in here. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull them. It's a lot easier with my gloves on, but I had to take them off to grab the camera. Here's the peach tree we planted last year. It survived. This one is the largest, and we have them go this way. So not all of these were the same size or like the same age when we planted them. I actually think this is 2 trees. We have one here, and then this is a secondary tree here. So the ones in the front towards the road are bigger and they're very happy. And then these ones along the side that fall in line with the peaches that existed prior, they're a little bit smaller. These ones were younger. The youngest one's over here, but they all survived, so I'm happy about that. There we go. So they're all making it. Look at this. You see this? See, is it gonna steady? I'm holding the camera so my hand's shaking. This is a Virginia native plant. It's a little pansy. And this plant here, I've been pulling this out of my flower beds. This is a weed, but you can use it medicinally. This will send up little shoots with a seed pod at the top. This is called plantain, and it's really good for when you have a cough, getting the phlegm like up out of your lungs. And over here, this is all over the place. This is wild onion. I love the taste of this. I love putting it on like a steak. I dehydrate it. It's got a little bulb that looks a little bit more like a garlic than an onion. What it looks like. You can't just pull these up out of the ground. They're pretty down in there deep. You gotta dig them up. But in my opinion, it's very worthwhile to dig up, especially if you are not planting your own onions. You can, like, depending on what size plot you're pulling these out of, you can get enough to last you a year for all your onion flavor needs. So that's all I got.